Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Inheritor back again with another tutorial video. And what this video is going to be on is how to do any type of air dribble. Now, I'm not going to cover every single type of air dribble there is, because there's a lot of different variations to an air dribble. Just like with dribbles, there's so many different, flicks rather, there's so many different flicks you can do. Same concept with air dribbles. So real quickly, I'm going to show you a custom training pack. Oh, well, you can't see the code. Huh. Might be a bug, I guess. Well, if I can find it, I will drop it down in the description below. But this is actually what got me as good as I am at air dribbles. The first 3 shots are air dribbles, and then later on there's some more like off-the-wall air dribbles. This right here would be considered a ground air dribble, but there's two variations of a ground to air dribble. So you know. The main thing with an air dribble is that you have to have really good air control, car control in the air is what I mean by that. So once you have that, then you just got to focus on getting the right ball touches. So what you're looking for with an air dribble, and don't get me wrong, I am not by any means good or very consistent in air dribbles, but I can do them. So what you're looking at is you want to have the nose of your car on the ball. That's pretty obvious, but where on the ball? So you don't want to be directly underneath the ball, because more than likely you are going to end up in a situation where you end up leaving the ball behind you, which you won't probably be able to recover, and if you do recover it, you're just going to end up taking it back the way you came and wasting all your boost in the process. I don't agree to doing air dribbles in most cases. 1, because it's a massive waste of boost, and 2, there's really never a good time to do an air dribble. And don't get me wrong, there are several opportunities to go for air dribbles, but they're usually pretty easy to defend unless you get really, really good at them. So you want to be under the ball, but you want it to have the nose of your car hitting... Oh, well. You want to have the nose of your car just on the front side of the ball, but on the bottom, if that makes any sense. And obviously, depending on how the ball is reacting to your car, will vary where you need to get your touches. But ultimately, unless you're trying to slow down the ball, you should be pretty much... let me get to... Actually, you know what? Let me finish what I was saying with this pack. If I can find the code, I will send it. This pack is good, especially for... I use this as a warm-up every single time I get on, because it has a little bit of everything in it. Anywhere from redirects to dribbles to air dribbles to just straight up like ground shots. And you can turn some of these into more than just like a touch to score to a double touch or whatever. You can do whatever you really need to with it. I try to make it as hard on myself as possible. I actually meant to do a backflip shot there, but, you know, rip me. I'm just trying to rush through this so you can see the other air dribble part of this. Oh. Come on now. There you go. I did it! Yay! Now we're on to a little bit of redirect action. This one I always try to double touch. Sometimes I just struggle and can't. And I'll just blast it towards the net, but... more times than not, this shot I do try to turn into a double touch. Just because I like to make things difficult on myself. Same with this one. Oh! But you can also just let it go in. Get a softer touch, more, less off the bottom side. So, on shot 18, we are back to some more air dribble action for a few more shots, which takes us to the off-the-wall air dribble area. So, how to go off the wall with an air dribble. You want to try to be going the same speed as the ball. And once you come off the wall, you're going to want to... well, the easiest way to go about it is to just not adjust the direction your car is facing. If you're doing a more of a straight shot rather than diagonal here. But, so since... it really just depends on how the ball comes off the wall, where you're going to put the nose of your car. But notice where I'm hitting the ball. It's going to be that same general area almost every time. That's where you want to be touching the ball. Pause the video when I get a ball touch and just memorize that spot on the ball. Those sparks you see, that's where you want to hit it. It's going to be different for your car's hitbox if you're not using the Dominus. But it's the same spot on the ball. That's not going to change any. Unless you need height. If you need to keep height, you do need to be a little bit more underneath the ball. Well, that worked. I told you, I am not the best at air dribbles. I'm not consistent with air dribbles. But that's because I don't see them as being a necessity to the game. I mean, neither are flip resets. I do go for a lot more of those than anything in regards to fancier stuff. But air dribbles in particular are typically really easy to defend. Which is why I never really go for them most of the time. So you see how I was going faster than the ball here? It pops way off the wall, which is what you don't want. So if you're going faster than the ball, you're going to have to chase after the ball. If you want a smooth transition off the wall, once you get your first ball, like once you're about to get your first ball touch is when you want to jump off the wall. And then, oh, that was nice, kind of. So then you're going to want to follow. And, like, it's not going to be perfect unless you're just insane at air dribbles. There are people out there that can have that ball in the nose of their car from the moment they leave the wall. Which, good for them. They're really good at air dribbles. A lot of the time, at least when I go for air dribbles, I'm chasing the ball. I don't have smooth air dribbles. But, you know, it's the base. This is your basics, what an air dribble looks like, how to go about it. And so, notice on these, because you are directly underneath the ball here, this is what I was talking about earlier. It's easier to get the right position on the ball. So you want to try and go the same speed as the ball, and as soon as you get that first touch off the wall, you do want to have space in between your car and the ball. And once you get that first touch, it should, as long as you're going the same general speed, stay pretty close to your car, so you won't have to really adjust much. Which, see, I didn't adjust my car this time, and I still followed the ball to a very sloppy air dribble. But in a situation where you're directly underneath the ball, you don't really even have to air roll to control the ball. I do because that's what I'm used to. Depending on where you're at on the field, you can also double jump off the wall, which will, in theory, give the ball more pop depending on how you hit the ball. But it will also push your car out off the wall more, which in theory will save you a little bit of boost. And that little bit of boost could mean the difference between scoring an air dribble and not making it to where you need to be. Unless you're insane at air dribbles, never go for an air dribble off the corner. I'm going to say that right now. Because 9 times out of 10, you won't score them. Not in a high GC game, anyway. If you're a lower rank, I could see you being able to score it. But in the high ranks, don't bother. Yeah, you got to be insane at air dribbles to be able to score something like that. I don't typically go for air dribbles off this. I normally just try and just wait it out and get my touch. But in theory, that is supposed to be an air dribble. But that pretty much concludes this pack for its air dribble section. Some pretty nice shots here that you can practice, which will get you pretty consistent in a lot of different things, really. But that's gonna be your basic like when a ball is bouncing off the ground to air dribble, and then your off the wall air dribbles. Next, I will show off the top of your car if you get to that advanced stage. I can't do them well, but I can do them to an extent, which will at least show you how to do it. There are probably better tutorials out there than what I can provide as of right now on air dribbles. But I'm doing my best, so I hope this video will help you out, at least to learn the first steps to how to air dribble. And unfortunately, it does not give you the code here. Let me see if I can get a hold of the code, and I will post it down in the description below if I do find the training pack code. So, last but not least, for the air dribbles that I will be covering, there are other air dribbles out there. There's air dribbles that you go from a ceiling shot and then you end up air dribbling the ball, like you do your flip and then you're air dribbling the ball. There's the turtle air dribble. There's several different other air dribbles, but the other air dribble that we're going to be covering is your more advanced stage, aside from just your bounce off the ground to air dribble and your off the wall air dribble. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off by dribbling the ball and on top of your car, obviously, and you're going to take it. You're going to double jump, and you're going to follow it into an air dribble. Like I said, I am not good at these at all, because I never use them. Ever. Going for these is 9 times out of 10 not going to work in a game. But if you get really good at them, I could totally see it being possible. So, same concept with the air dribble. You're going to want the same general touch area on the ball. The only difference is you got to start it on top of your car, which you pretty much want it to be right on, for the Dom at least, you're going to want it to be right on the front middle of your car. So you don't want it on the front of your car like the windshield, because you're just going to pop the ball out away from you when you jump. But you don't want it too far back either, because it's not going to, you're going to have to go backwards to be able to get it to go anywhere. So you want it to be just on top of your windshield for the Dominus. I don't know about the Octane in particular, or any other car type, but you want it to start off pretty much front middle of your car, and you're just going to double jump and air roll yourself to the point where you are getting the same touches you would with a normal air dribble to follow it. Obviously, you're going to have to consider the fact that you can't place yourself on the ball where you would off the wall in comparison to off the top of your car here, because you have to start off towards the bottom to get it to get any height. Try and get a good air dribble here. So notice how I actually did get some height there. I wasn't able to score it, but you got the general idea. So you're gonna have to start off. Oh, there's a good one. So that one in particular, I don't know enough about to really elaborate on every aspect of it. But just know that you gotta have it towards the top, the front middle of your car. You're gonna want to make sure you have solid control. You can't have it bouncing around, otherwise it's not gonna work unless you just have insane control. But you want it to be a smooth ball, so when you pop it up in the air, you can do an air dribble off of it. So see what I mean? If it's too far back on your car, it's actually gonna pop back behind you, and you're gonna have to try and recover off of it, which in a game is gonna give away ball possession. But if you get a solid air dribble off of it, then poggers. This, like I said, this method I don't typically recommend going for an air dribble. I don't recommend going for an air dribble in general. But if you do go for an air dribble, that's probably my least recommended. However, it is a advanced skill, and given the appropriate situation, if you feel like showing off a little bit, go for it. Other than that, I would definitely say your off-the-wall air dribble is going to be your most commonly used air dribble. So, like I said, you want the ball to be going the same speed as you, or you want to be going the same speed as the ball, and you are going to want space between you and the ball. As soon as you touch the ball, you're going to jump off the wall, and you're going to follow through with your air dribble. Get your right touches. I'd say your first goal to learning an air dribble is just being able to carry the ball in the air. Don't even worry about scoring in the net. Once you gain the control of the ball with an air dribble, then, you know, you should be able to adjust what you need to take it to the net, given an appropriate situation. So, to start off, I would definitely advise just chilling. Don't worry about taking it to the net. Just try and get your touches. Get as many touches as you can without, you know, blasting it into the ceiling, unless you just really want to pinch it off the ceiling. And once you start gaining control, you can eventually figure out the boost control aspect of it, because obviously you can't just keep boosting straight into the ball. You gotta feather your boost. So this time for this air dribble, pay attention to what I'm doing with my boost. Notice the ball isn't going everywhere. In regards to, like, it's not popping way out ahead of me. It's not Well, really, it's just that. It's not popping way ahead of me, which is what you want for an air dribble. If you want to keep control of the ball, you really got to make sure you're feathering your boost. Let me show you what happens if you're boosting too much. Oh, well. So if you have even the right setup, but you... Oh, my God. Even if you have the right setup, and you just keep boosting, the ball instantly has too much speed and you have like 0 time to take control. That's basically what's going to happen. I'll try and get a proper one here. Or you're going to fly past the ball like that. So you really want to make sure you're controlling your boost as well. That's going to be crucial to having a proper air dribble. So notice how I feathered my boost there, and I did hold on to it even though I was losing height. The only situation in an air dribble you want to be boosting more is going to be when you're doing a either ground to air dribble or ground to air dribble off the top of your car or ground to air dribble through a bounce, because you're going to have to gain height, which is why off the wall is going to be a little bit better, because you're actually going to save some boost depending on where you're doing your air dribble from. Other than that, that's about all I can really tell you about an air dribble. I don't know enough about air dribbles to really break it down for you. And so your main objective is to make sure you are getting your proper touches on the ball. If you're too high on the ball, you're going to know, because the ball is going to fly way ahead of you. But that's really all I got. I do hope this tutorial helped you, what little I could tell you. And yeah, I really do hope this tutorial at least gets you started in the air dribbling world, and you can hopefully take this knowledge and grow off of this baseline. I can't speak English today either. It's a common problem for me. Shoot. Well, that's gonna be it for today's video. If this video helps you out, please drop a like on the video, and yeah, as always guys, I will catch you in the next video.